this moment, the time clock has stopped. All of a sudden, it's starting anew because we are at the Epcot International Beer and Food Festival. Because you'll hear from Daniel Jolie that I'm getting ready to introduce you to. It is all about the flavor. It's what he works on with his food. He is Belgian-born, as you'll hear at Hello, but a Belgian-born master chef. There's actually only one other Belgian master chef in the United States. And he'll be taking us through not only a tasting of a great beer, and that's going to be coming out to you in just a moment, talking about how you pair beer with food, but also talking about how you cook with beer, which has become one of the trendiest things to do. As a matter of fact, 2013, when all of the trends come out with food, it was one of the top 5 trends, cooking with beer, because it's all about the flavor. I'm going to step back and give you an opportunity to give a very warm welcome here at the Epcot International Beer and Food Festival to Chef Daniel Jolie. Aha. Well, here's Christian, and here he is. You snuck up on me. Great to see you. Good to see you. And you've brought David as well. Hey, love.
I got David. We have a great team. My name is Daniel Jolie. I bring David with me because David gonna do everything and I do the rest. That's the way we're gonna work. You know, it's I'm a Belgian master chef. I live in Vail, Colorado, and what a fun ride. You know, I was with a young person the other day, and she asked me, I just come back from Europe. I was a judge in Rotterdam as a competition for young people. And that young person said, Chef, you know, you're going to 10 or 15 festivals a year. Which one is the one you prefer? And I mentioned, you know, the one I was coming here in Epcot. And one of the things, you know, I'm going to tell you very honestly, what I love about Epcot, if you ever go in the back scene of Epcot, I mean, it's so many people work here and so many people dedicate about making the day very special for all of you. It's amazing. It's really contagious. And that's really spectacular about, you know, the experience you have as a chef here because, you know, we show up and we just, you know, throw a couple jokes and we cook food and we go back, but those people stay here and make everything happen, and that's really, the energy here is very, you know, it's very special, very unique, and I enjoy very much.
No, but we appreciate that.
You know, anyway, it's like, you know, we're only as good, you know, in my profession, I'm only as good to my next meal. I mean, I better start to cook and stop talking, you know.
Yes.
It's, I mean, we're going to do, you know, a couple things for you. Belgian beer become very popular in the United States, and I write with the Belgian beers for the last 7 years. You know, since Stella Artois come to the market, I was doing a competition for Bon Appetit, and the gentleman, you know, next time, I know he was in my restaurant eating, and I said, what does guys, it must be like espionage me or something, you know. And anyway, he was the brand, you know, the brand responsible for Stella Artois, and he said, I'd like you to be a speaker for the brand. I say, me speaking, nobody understand me. Why should speak to anyone? You know? But anyway, and you know, long story short, you know, I do that when, you know, since I'm in a ski resort, I do that when the restaurants slow down between the summer season and the winter season. And, you know, it's just been working very well. It's a lot of fun. We meet a lot of good people doing that. And it's just a very entertaining, you know, fun thing to do. You know, as a chef, you always look at different flavor. And, you know, in Belgium, we cook with beer for 1,000 years. It's nothing new about. You know, just think in America, a lot of people think we cook with beer, we just braise short ribs, and that's kind of what we do for cooking with beer. But you know, if you really think about beer as a spice, about 80% is water. That's why it's a very healthy drink. I think it's even healthy to coffee, if you want my opinion. But anyway, it's 20% of that is
the breakfast beverage of champions. Yes,
you got the yeast, you got the hops, you got all those, you know, flavor in there, and if you can extract that, you really got some interesting flavor. And that's what it's, you know, with beer, all those microbrewery, you know, in the United States, they all come up with those very, you know, unique beer, and that's what I think is fun about the beer planet, if I would call it. You never really have, you know, every beer has its own twist, and that's why it's really, you know, you drink a beer and you say, that's my beer, and you kind of stick with it, you know. And contrarily with wine, you know, you can have a great year, and next year you try the same bottle of wine, it might be different. It's just so, you know, a different, you know, I would say philosophy when you know, when you try beer. One thing with beer, very important, a lot of people don't realize, you know, when you drink beer, you have to swallow to have the flavor, because, you know, that's why, you know, really you get the distinction of the beer. When you know, taste wine, you can spill it and, you know, spit it back, and you will have the really what the wine will taste. Never been a big problem for me. I kind of like that part of my job, you know, because when you cook with beer, you're not drinking, you're tasting. Remember that.
Yes, good,
you know?
good,
anyway,
good.
Let's just get going. We're gonna we're going to start with the first beer, kind of really fun, is Hoegaarden. Just to give you a little background about the Belgian beer, the Hoegaarden is an original white beer. A lot of people probably know the Blue Moon, from Colorado. It's kind of same process. Hoegaarden was the very first people do that. In Belgium, a lot of those beer like this, Hoegaarden, for example, was created in the 1200. I mean, let's look, back from the 1200. We was not talking about marketing or anything like that. I mean, the name of the city is the name of the beer. And the reason behind that, because in that time, really, the beer was to travel, to go from one city to another city. And that's what a lot of the beer in Belgium is dominated by people religious, like monk. And, that was the people who was really controlling the beer. If you look at the Belgium as a reputation in the beer industry, you got 7 guild of beer. And we talk about guild, that's when we got the very first recipes to make beer, and that's recipes well over 1,000 years. And a lot of time from monastery. We have 6 in Belgium and we have 1 in Germany. And that's why Belgium is always looked at that way, because very much Belgium a tradition. We have beer in a cooler, and that's why we cook with it, because it's just kind of, look at Belgium, it's 12 million people. You drive 3 hours that way, you're in Amsterdam, you drive 3 hours that way, you're in Paris. I mean, it's like, 12 million people, we do about 600 different beer. That's a lot of beer.
That's
I don't think I got any milk when I was little,
Who needed it, right?
I know, it
Yes.
seems to work for me,
Exactly.
But, we're going to get with the Hoegaarden. What I want to do, just to open your mind, we make a little ice cream, and that's what they bring it to you. And it's like, really, if you look at the flavor of the beer, we have some milk, some glucose, some sugar, and we're going to warm him up just to show you. But you guys should enjoy it. And a lot of time if you taste that, you will say, I will never guess it's beer. And to me, that's what is interesting when you cook with beer. You get a little height flavor, but if it's not there, you will say something missing. And that's what I think is, we accomplish with a sorbet like that. I get some sugar, I get some milk. Just going to melt a little bit the sugar, and we're going to add a little bit glucose. And I'm going to open the beer. That's the best part of my job.
Exactly. And glucose would be corn syrup for
That's
us,
correct, yes.
right?
It's a very thick syrup. What you do is give them a little bit moisture. One thing also, if you ever go to Belgium, and I hope some of you went to Belgium, if you go to a bar in Belgium, and you're going to see a bar when they're carrying 100 beer or whatever, they will all have the glassware. And think about what's the big deal about glassware. The very first sense when you have a beer is the smell. And then when people make the beer, like Hoegaarden family, they make that for, 700, 800 years. They realize when you bring the glassware to your nose, that's the very first smell. And that's why when we do in Belgium, we always have to have a little head, because we want to agitate that beer. And that's when we create with the glassware, we get that very first sense. It's like, let's just say, you're in the living room and you get a very pretty woman with a very nice lingerie. That's all lingerie in the beer industry,
Yes.
Thank you for that visual.
I don't know. I'm going to put a little beer. A little more.
Right into the sugar and corn syrup. Wow.
What we do is when we pour the Hoegaarden, you always, every Belgian beer glass, you're going to see is a little line. And that's what you want the head to kind of be. Because that's just what the people, the brewmaster, decide that will be the right attitude. And a lot of time, if you look at the beer, like the bigger beer, you always have like yeast related to alcohol. A lot of time, if you have a large, like a monk beer or something like that, usually it's a little more yeast. More when you drink those beer, you want to pour in a glass first and before you swallow, because we all have that. You drink a couple beer and you feel like you're going to blow up, and that's what is helping, because it kind of agitate that yeast, and it make it much more friendly for you to absorb after. Because what's happening, you get that foam created in your stomach, mostly with bigger beer, like monk beer and things like that. Budweiser or Stella Artois would not be a big issue, But bigger beer, you want to put in the glass first, get the tradition behind it.
And this is the glucose going
yes,
in.
That David doing that. He's doing a great job, no?
Yes, he is. Thank you.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. No, you cannot have. This is mine.
Sticky.
It's we got a little mixture there. Same thing. What do you think about those sorbet? It's not delicious.
Nice.
Yeah,
Now,
I think
would
it's
you
it's
have
unexpected.
even thought that it was beer? Would you have
You know, because Ugarden
yeah. Mm-hmm.
get that citrus, orangey flavor, you know, like little curacao. And I think for something like that, it's very refreshing, you know, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, and I think that's what kind of the magic about, you know, something like that. If like you don't expect it, but when you taste it, you say, this is original, you know, that's something. And I want to show it to you because it's 3 steps. You can easily do that home. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you go on a date tonight, you do that, it should work for you. I tried to find one for him, but you know,
Yes.
he's French. And
I'm French, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
nobody like French people. You know, I told him.
That's not true.
Say you're from
Not
Belgium.
So,
You know?
not so. Say you're
Not
from
so nice.
Belgium. You can get by with it. Wow.
I mean, we're gonna just you know, use liquid nitrogen to cool down the liquid.
It's getting smoky.
Okay, who needs to go to Not
Yes.
So Scary Halloween? It's happening right
It's Halloween.
here.
Yeah.
Look at this. Okay, no one's scared up here, right? We're good?
Some people buy a KitchenAid. I just bring a French guys with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Just all you need in your kitchen is a KitchenAid or a French guy.
Wow. So this is immediately freezing it.
Yeah,
Immediately,
it's contact to
I
contact.
think
You know.
we should. We're probably pretty close. Yeah, that's it.
I don't know what you're thinking, but this might be the coolest thing I've ever seen happen up here, right?
But you know, the thing is, you know, if you're at home, you can very well, you know, throw in the freezer and what we call is a granité. And I mean, it will have like little shaving. You know, you put your milk, your glucose, and you put that in your fridge because not everybody walk around with a liquid nitrogen.
For sure.
you know-
Anybody have that at there? No,
Yes, I can
no,
help
no,
you,
no,
please,
no.
sir.
So we
Please?
could do
I
just
will
like a
please.
granita, almost, just
Yeah,
kind
pretty
of
much.
scrape it, okay?
Okay, we need a little more.
A little
I mean,
more.
if you do try this at home, I recommend that you wear some glasses and goggles.
You know, if you get your skin in the liquid nitrogen, it will create like little burn. That's why I put his hand on it. I keep my
Yes,
hand
I
on.
was going to
A little
say.
cold.
The Frenchman. Yeah, it works, yes. Wow.
I'm just getting even because yesterday made me drink too much, and I wake up with a headache this morning, and I say, I don't know about those cognac things. It just get to me, you know.
That's it.
Yeah, that look good.
I think so. There you go. Ice cream.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
I mean, it's
goodness.
just, you know, what's happening. That's what all the smoke, the liquid nitrogen can evaporate when it get to contact with the liquid. I mean, don't
Wow.
affect the. It's very, you know, it's no flavor get into it. But you know, I just want to show you. It's very easy to make. You know, milk, glucose, sugar, taste. That's the best thing about, you know, it's a whole set. Don't trust a skinny chef. You know.
You're not that skinny.
I'm sorry.
mean, I remember those
I'm
days
sorry.
when-
Is there a spoon missing up here? No, just kidding.
Sorry about
It's
that.
That's all right.
We,
My gosh.
we,
This is fantastic. Yeah.
There
Got
you
it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
I got it for another one.
Huh?
Oh, wow. Okay, that is fabulous, right?
This is good. I like
I
it.
was gonna, wow.
Okay, let's keep
That
going.
is fabulous.
Those people, they're hungry. Let's give them food.
Yeah, man, oh man. And some beer, which is coming out right now.
I mean,
Were
let's
you
talk.
going to pour some of that beer into one of those glasses?
Yeah, I can. Let's do the Stella.
Really, should we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a Stella glass.
Okay.
Let's take a cold Stella. Let's take 2 Stella. I'll give you 1 too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on a date.
Yes, exactly. We're having fun.